Ivan. Ivan. What's up, Ivan? Maddie. What's up? Yo, Sadi. What's up? Hello, Nadi. How you doing? How you doing this Sunday? It's boring. At least it's kind of like, how you doing? How you guys doing? Fabi, how you doing? Is this Leia? Can you guys like and follow? So let me see. What's interesting to talk about? What do you guys want to hear? Estella, hi. What do you guys want to hear? Today, let me see nationally. You are from, I'm Russian. Oh, Nadi, I'm from the Netherlands. You know Holland? Holland. How you doing in Russia? Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. Oh, okay. That's like is that the Muslim part of Russia? Baku. What is that? I don't know where is that though. I have Russia and Azerbaijan have complex, evolved, rational, traditional, strong share of history, recent Azerbaijan. What is Baku? Baku is Muslim. Oh, okay. Baku. Oh, capital of Azerbaijan. So where's Azerbaijan? Um, Azerbaijan. So do you speak Arabic then? Or you Muslim? So does that mean that you speak Arabic? Okay. So that's like, guys, uh, Russia is so huge when it come think of it. I know, Noel, you left. It's so huge when you think of it. Russia, it's so huge. It's like, um, now you're in Turkey now. Wait, is that okay? Where is that? Mm, let me see. Where is this? What you're talking about? Let me try to see if I can get it in the map. In the map, Baku is the capital, largest city of Azerbaijan. One of the. Uh-huh. Let me see. How does that go? English translation. Okay. So, oh, you mean you were doing English translation? How are you guys doing? Everybody in the chat, can you like up and follow if you haven't done that already? Okay. So how's life there for you? I don't know if you still cannot find. It's in Russia, you said, right? Ah, I'm seeing it in the map. Let me check. It's like close to the coast, close to the sea. Okay. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about today? Today I have the topic of. Wait, let me change this again. No, right here. Board, hide, and use. Okay, I think like this is better. So what you guys been doing of this Sunday? Just chilling? Feast, fly. Okay. Oh, today is National Cotton Candy Day, but nah, I don't remember when was the last time I ate some cotton candy. But National Day, National Arena. Oh, there's nothing really interesting today. When it comes National Letter Writing Day. Really? They still do that? Today is National Letter Writing Day. I don't know when was the last time you guys wrote a letter. Do you guys even write letters anymore? Who writes letters? Like at this point. Do you remember when was the last time that you wrote a letter? You write a text now, not a letter. I mean, there are some part of the world that still write letters, but if you live in the West, it's like very maybe a business letter. But let's see. Um, do you guys ever write a letter at this point to someone? Have you ever, Bailey? Have you guys ever write a letter at this point, or do you guys write letters? Hmm. So let me see what is this saying about. I think it's evident when it says National Letter Writing Day. I don't think there will be any much more sting to it, to be honest. What else there can be about this? Letter writing has been declining because smartphone, the internet, and before that, the telephone. But hundreds of years ago, it has only way to for people separate distance to get in touch. Today is a great day to get back to basic and handwriting letters. But isn't the idea of sitting down something special? I mean, do people would do that? But isn't the idea of sitting down for half an hour and writing and handwriting something to somebody special? I, do you guys ever write letters at this point, to be honest? Like seriously, do you guys ever write letters? I mean, I can't remember when was the last time I actually wrote a letter. I used to write letters, but it's been too long, far, far too long. I think that was like, yeah, that was back in the days. Back in the days, you used to write letters, or before, before smartphone, you used to write letters and just maybe letters to somebody that you like or somebody that you love. Who in the chat used to write letters, love letters, or just letters? Let's say who in the chat used to write love letters and in back in the days. Did you guys used to write love letters? What's up, Aaron? Or just letters back in the day? Mm, can everybody in the chat like up? Exclave, that lie. Oh, okay. Yeah, but oh, for you, Diana, probably you've wrote letters because today is National Letter Writing Day. And like for me, I used to write letters way, way, way back in the days, but that was a long, yeah, not really that long though, to be honest. Oh, what happened? Sheesh. Um, wait. Sorry about that, Diana. I think you got muted by mistake. I'm unmuting you. That was a mind setting. What do you mean mind setting? What do you mean about that, Diana? Um, write somebody a letter, say that you miss them. Did you write back soon? Yeah, nowadays I think letters is a dying art. Writing letters or just writing in general is a dying art because it's like nowadays um it's more easier to just write a text, an email than to write a letter. If you write a letter these days, people will look like you as rewrite. Oh, okay. Okay. So what you been up to, Diana? What do you do, Diana? Santi, what's up? Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so don't care about the writing the letter part because at this point nobody write letters, to be honest. Hardly unlikely. Maybe old people would write letters to each other, but it's more convenient to just write a text. Unless if you're gonna write a letter, unless you're trying to keep things private. You got a call? Yeah, it happens. So what are you gonna do about Seb? Well, so what's the situation? You got a call, Seb, then what are you um have you done something about it so far, Seb? My life as trying to make it positive rewriting the past. Okay, rewriting my life. No, today is National Writing a Letter Day. So how do you write letters? That's the question. Diancha. Diancha. How you doing? Oh. Okay. Okay, so let me see. What else? What happened? What happened over the weekend? Let's see. What happened over the weekend? Do you write letters to your friends, to your girlfriends at this point? Diana. Mayora, hi. Maybe I can check. Just something that I saved. Are you guys ready for the new year? Are you guys looking forward to the new year? Okay, let's see. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this. I wanted to show you guys this. This guy who's saying that he doesn't have a stomach, or he's saying that his stomach. Wait, I didn't know music was playing, but he's saying that his stomach is so small that his stomach what he eats, the amount of food that he eats can fit in your hands. That's how small his stomach is. I didn't really search much on him to find out. To find out, okay, exactly. Let me check. What's the sound here? Okay, I think this is good. But his stomach is so tiny. Let me know what you guys think about this. Everybody in the chat. Edefim, how you doing? So this is about a guy whose stomach is very, very small. And the amount of food that he eats is even smaller. You wouldn't imagine. You wouldn't think that he would be able to stay alive and be alive with eating that much. I don't think none of us would be alive. I mean, at least we wouldn't enjoy life at all if our stomach was that small, according to what he's saying. Listen to this.
A stomach?
No, sir. They took it out.
You have no stomach.
No.
Where does your
Wait. I'm gonna start it again.
So?
You don't have a stomach?
No, sir. They took it out.
You have no stomach.
No.
Where does your food go?
They created a pouch that holds 4 ounces of food out of my intestine. It's up here at the top. So I can only eat what you can hold in the palm of your hand.
So he has no stomach at all. They created a pouch, something like a small, a small food holder to hold what can fit in the palm of your hand. Imagine that, like, but it gets even worse. It gets even worse.
I eat about 1,200 calories a day. I'm full all the time.
He eats about 1,200 calories a day. That's a grown man. Like I think he's in his late 50s, late 50s. I would say, yeah, late 50 years old.
Like this. You gave me a cup of coffee
That's a black coffee.
and a water, and that's gonna do me until 8 or 9 o'clock tonight.
So he basically almost don't eat, to be honest. Just a cup of water and some coffee, and that's good enough for him. I don't know how he can't enjoy life at this point. How does he survive, to be honest?
And then I'll say,
But that has no calories.
I know, but it's gonna fill me. And then
Yeah, it doesn't have no calories because it's not about the calories at this point. It's about that at this point is for him. It's just simply his stomach is so limited that he doesn't eat at all. He doesn't eat. The only amount of food that he needs per day is just the amount that will fit in his hands.
I'm gonna say at 9 o'clock, I haven't eaten since 7 this morning. I should probably eat something. But then as a result, the weight melted off me. I used to wear this Dexcom right here. You could see it in the Danny Jones podcast. The diabetes just went away like magic.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. I don't take any medicine.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, my high blood pressure went away, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and even my sleep apnea went away.
No kidding.
Yeah, completely turned my life around.
Whoa.
But can think of it, his nutrition habit must have been so bad that everything just go away like that because it means that what he was eating was not useful for him, or it was just basically the wrong type of food for him to eat, and then it just caused his nose to always have his airways to always have snot in it, and the diabetes and all of these things. It's like probably what he was eating was just basically not good for him, but then he still didn't take pay attention to what he was eating, so how it was affecting his body. But again, for now he just eats so little. He's still surviving.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, but even like, can you eat like the feta cheese as a Greek and everything without getting full? I mean,
I took one of my sons to Greece in January.
where are you people from in Greece?
Rhodes. All 4 of my grandparents came from Rhodes. It's glorious
My
there.
best friend all my life was Thessaloniki.
Oh, it's a
Dual citizen.
beautiful, beautiful city.
Sagapuela.
Yeah, Singapore. So I'm a dual citizen too, as are my kids, and I'm going back next week, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it there. But anyway, I couldn't really eat the food. The changes that you have to make are obvious, but even
Yeah, it's not at this point. It's not these changes. It's like a big lifestyle changes. So imagine like for him, if he's gonna eat grapes, all he needs is just one grape, and I come to come together with everything else that he's eating because his stomach is so small, y'all. His stomach is like the palm of his hand, and that's the only amount of food that he could eat. And because that's the limit of the pouch that they replace his stomach as. So he basically cannot enjoy food at all. I can't even imagine that, not being able to eat at all. So if he's gonna try something, he can maybe just taste it or just take a small pinch of it and then eat it, but he cannot eat much at all.
now, what am I? 2 years and 2 months post surgery. I can't eat beef. I can't eat lamb. It's too heavy, too dense.
But do you feel good?
I feel fantastic.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa. Talking about taking life to the extreme. That's really extreme, to be honest. He cannot eat almost no meat. I think he can eat fish because it's not so heavy. But when it comes to meat, he cannot eat any type of meat because his stomach cannot, like the pouch that they created to replace his stomach cannot break down the food. They cannot break down the meal at all. So in that situation. I don't think that's like it's not a gas. Some people think it's a gastric sleeve, but it's not a gastric sleeve. Did you guys know? For some people who have the gastric sleeve, even if for people who are trying to lose weight, they'll go to get the gastric sleeve in order to lose the weight or basically to not eat as much. So they cannot control. They find it very hard to control their cravings or their amount of calories they consume. So they cannot control themselves. So they say, okay, let me just get my stomach smaller, or they take part of the stomach away. So we remove part of the stomach from their body, and they leave part of the stomach inside. So which mean that helps them to eat way less. So, but the thing is, some people think, okay, after a gastric bypass sleeve, gastric bypass sleeve, some people think that they are not gonna gain weight anymore, or they feel like they probably can eat anything, but at the end of the day, still you can have, the stomach is so small at this point, you tend to have a lot of serious complication when it comes to acid forming and acid coming up their throat. They have acid reflux, and that's another situation that is very annoying. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but I think most people ever, we've experienced the moment when gas or acid just run through your breathing tract, and then it just kind of burns. So people who are in gastric bypass, they actually have to deal with that. But at the same time, if they don't make any lifestyle changes, it's still gonna get back to the same situation. They can still gain weight regardless that they have the surgery. But in his case, it's something different. Okay. When I look at the comments here, it says one person say, I have no stomach. Wait, let me try to make that a bit bigger. Okay, that didn't really work as much. But this person is saying, I have no stomach. For 15 years, it used to be 468, now 286. But that's 15 years, y'all. Imagine 15 years, you don't have no stomach. You can live without a stomach. But the thing is, that's like, although you can do that, but it's so super annoying though, because you cannot enjoy food. Food is something that is so enjoyable, different dishes, different cuisines. But imagine that you cannot enjoy any food or different cuisines at all because your stomach is taken away. Did you have somebody ask, did you have the bypass? I have the sleeve, but it caused so much issues. Okay. Okay. Let me see. I wanted to see the surgery, not the surgery entirely, but how it is done. Gastric bypass surgery, basically to show you guys how
To
it
gain
is.
access to the abdominal cavity.
Okay. Let me see. Put it here. How you guys doing tonight? Okay, this is one here. Thank you guys. Can you guys like up and follow? Thank you. Maya, how have you been, Maya? So we're talking about now gastric bypass is animation of showing how it is. So we're talking about some people who could have some people that are actually living life without any stomach or just a gastric bypass sleeve. Show you guys how it is done.
Small incisions are created on the abdomen.
So basically they make small holes. They make small holes around the stomach or the abdominal area. So like goes around like this. Small holes they make to actually
Which serve as passageways for the surgical instruments are placed into the incisions.
Ooh.
The surgeon examines the abdominal cavity using a laparoscope.
Wait, why is it so? Hold on, y'all. This video Oh, the video quality is just like this. Ugh. This is called the esophagus, where your food goes down. Thank you guys. Can you get to 1K like, guys? Can we? This is the stomach here, and this is the large intestine. Hey, this is the large intestine. So let's see.
Or video
They're gonna remove part of the stomach itself, so the person can eat less in order to lose weight, or because these people, they don't have no control over their appetite or what they eat, so they will just basically eat their whole life away, or just eat without non-stop, so they have no control over their bodies and or their appetite. So what do? They do obesity procedure, which is the gastric bypass. This is what they do.
A small stomach pouch is created using a stapling device. This smaller stomach pouch restricts the amount of food that can be eaten before feeling full. The small intestine is separated into two sections. The lower portion of the small intestine is attached to the newly created stomach pouch. This allows food to pass directly into the small intestine, where digestion continues.
So basically, it's like if you have 5 fingers, they take away all the 4 and then leave 1 finger. So which means, like, if your stomach is like equivalent to 5 fingers, and then the small part of doing a gastric bypass is basically having your finger just living with 1 finger. So what they do is just basically connect your a top part of your stomach to your intestine, so where your food goes, travel through, where different nutrients are, and your stomach is where all the food is broken down to, and then it goes to your intestine, and then basically the nutrients are being sucked out throughout the process, the traveling process. But yeah, so this is what people do to actually attempt to lose weight.
Bypassing a portion of the small intestine decreases the absorption of calories and nutrients. The upper portion of the small intestine is reconnected to the lower portion of the intestine. The bile and pancreatic fluids from the liver and pancreas allow food to be completely digested. As with all weight loss procedures, behavior modification and dietary compliance plays a critical part in determining the long-term success of the procedure.
So this is the thing that a lot of people didn't really pay attention to, because a lot of people think that doing a gastric bypass or surgery for weight loss, or basically making their stomach smaller, they think that they're basically gonna lose, or they don't have to do anything else. Basically, they feel that they don't have to lose the bad habit of whatever food that they're eating. That they feel like a lot of the time they don't have to do no exercises. Let's look at it from this standpoint. If you don't do any exercises when you do a gastric bypass, your body is gonna get basically very flabby, very soft, very jelly-like, and your body is gonna get, the skin is gonna be folded. It's not gonna be a nice sight to see, and probably after that you're gonna have to do other surgeries to get your skin more tightened, and that's all over the area. So probably in your stomach area and different areas in your body as well, you're gonna have to do some things to actually get your body more tighter. And what else? So some people think that they don't have to make any nutritional choices or different nutritional choices. So like, for example, to stop eating the wrong type of food that actually cause them to become grow fat in the first place. But this person says they have the sleeve. So I wanted to take a look at gastric bypass issues and complications or issues. Let's see. So when you have a gastric bypass, you can have a lot of infections, bleeding, and blood clot, and long-term problems such as dumping syndrome, nutritional deficiency. So basically, you're gonna have a situation where these are situations that you must use supplements. You're gonna be deficient in a lot of different supplements because your body is not getting enough food. And at the same time, you pass you bypass a certain areas, or if the digestive system takes 4 hours to digest your food or whichever food that you are taking, but let's take 4 hours in general. If it takes 4 hours for all your food to digest in your system, now since you are eating smaller, you know, it takes shorter, which can be a good thing. Hello, how you doing? Did you solve the issue? So it can take very shorter period of time, but then also what tends to happen as well is that your body, your digestion, it doesn't do everything that it's supposed to do. So you're gonna be missing. You're gonna have a lot of different. What I'm seeing here, there's 2, 4, 3. There's more than 24 different issues that you can deal with. Yes. What happened? What did you do? What did you turn out to do then? There's a lot of different issues that you have to watch out for, and you unaliving is also one of the issues that you're gonna have to deal with. You could basically become unalive when you have gastric bypass surgery, and a lot of the time people just do these for for the weight loss. But I say it's better that you find a way that is more sustainable, that doesn't give you all these different issues that you're gonna have to deal with. That's the thing. Okay, well, now guys, I saw, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. You have other people that you're talking to. It is what it is, right? You're gonna move on. So where are you located, by the way? Are you are you in Europe? So gastric bypass, a bit, but taking it slow. How come? Why are you taking it slow? Guys, can we get to 1K like, guys? Oh, I'm talking about gastric bypass. I'm talking about a guy who has gastric bypass are usually is done for weight loss. And it's if your stomach is that big, imagine that they took just a small amount of your stomach and the rest is ignored. So they cancel out, let's say 90% of your stomach to make it smaller, to make the amount of food that you eat smaller. And what tends to happen as well, this guy is telling his story of the amount of food that he eats daily could fit in your hand. That's how much food that he eats. He's a grown man, and he's actually in his late 50s, or he's in his 50s, and a lot of people do this surgery for weight loss. And the amount of food that he needs per day is just this amount that would fit in your hands. This is like it's crazy. But I was telling about gastric bypass, different issues that it comes with. So so let me see other comments on this. Oh, okay. We didn't know what was possible. My diabetes is gone after having a gastric sleeve. But on the other hand, the other things that are just like when it comes to, there are advantages to why people do it, because you might think that there's no real reason why people would do it, but there are real reason why people actually do it, because it actually comes with situation where if you have diabetes, it can go, if you have high insulin, high blood pressure, or high blood pressure, not low blood pressure, but a lot of different issues can go away. But also it's basically an exchange of issues, of health condition, health challenges. It's basically an exchange. That's what it is. You cannot have it all, to be honest. The best way to actually have it all, meaning that you remove the unwanted issues and replace it with good things that you want. So if you don't want to have the diabetes, the high blood pressure, is to lose weight in a natural way. That's the only way. Because if you're gonna do gastric bypass surgery, you run up a chance, even though you're still eating small, you run out a chance to still gain the weight and over time, because sometimes people would gain the weight again even though your stomach is small. They'll still eat they didn't address the underlying issue, which is their relationship with food, or different issues that they are dealing with. The real question is, how can I have no stomach? So basically, they have no stomach. It's not like they don't have no stomach. They just like have a. Some people would say they don't have no stomach. It's just that they have like they took away 90% of the stomach is not active. This food is killing us. So they cannot enjoy food at all for the rest of their lives, to be honest. So imagine how you guys love food. I love food. I love to eat. I love to try different dishes. And I cannot imagine a world where I cannot enjoy different dishes, different meals. That would be like, that wouldn't be a life worth living for me. Unless it's a serious situation that's causing me to be like that. Unless it's a serious health situation. Someone says I would miss food so much. That's true. I believe that pouch he's referring to is called a stomach. Yeah, it is called a micro stomach. It's really small. Means okay, diabetes gone. My favorite island is Rose. Do you really? Okay, so all right, that was it for gastric. So anything that's on your mind? What do you guys wanna hear? Anything that's in your mind? What do you guys wanna hear? Okay. Have you guys ever heard? Have you guys ever thought about where does McDonald's? I think most people don't think about that. Think about where does McDonald's get their meat from, and basically where. Because when you think about it, all of this food, there are a lot of. How long does it take for a cow? What do they have mostly in McDonald's? Let me check. I think it's cheeseburgers are the most sold item in McDonald's or that's because the reason I'm talking about McDonald's because it is the biggest food chain or food franchise in the world. This is why. But I can talk about also KFC or different food sources or food chains in the world. But let's find out. Have you ever thought about? I don't think most people think about that, but where does the beef come from that we are eating? Where does it come from? Because how long does it take for a cow to grow from the time that is born to the time that it becomes an adult or ready to be slaughtered for meat? How long does it take? And how much food McDonald's is actually, or cheeseburgers McDonald's is actually making? Where do they actually get this meat from? Because there's been some talk about this that McDonald's, some people still cannot find out where does the McDonald's get their meat from. It's basically a mystery still at this point. I don't think McDonald's. So okay, so let me see if this is the one that I wanted to see to share with you guys.
Very simple question. He says McDonald's sells 6.5 million burgers in a single day, yet he has never seen any massive cow farms, cow rearing centers, or large slaughter facilities where huge numbers of cows are kept and killed to produce all that beef.
So I was curious the other day and found this online. McDonald's sells 6.5 million burgers in one single day. That's 195 million burgers a month. Now, I don't know.
195 million burgers a month.
Know about you,
but guys, I think that's just in the United States alone. Eh? That's just in the US, not considering everywhere that McDonald's, every other countries, because it's a multinational fast food chain. Not even considering these areas where.
I don't see cows lined up around every corner waiting to be turned into patties. I mean, seriously.
And how much patties can a cow turn into? because they cannot take every part of the well, they can take every part of the cow to turn it into a patty. But how much patties can cow turn into? Let me see. How much burger? Okay, they're giving me pounds, but I'm unstable meat. They're not telling me how much. Maybe 1,000 plus. I would say 1,000 plus.
Do the math. Even if you stretched one cow into a bunch of burgers, you're still talking millions of cows just to keep up every day. So I started asking myself, where are all
Yeah, right. Millions of cows. So let's say if they say in the US alone, they sell like 6.5 million burgers worldwide a day. Let's say that. And I think it's really more than that. But how much if one cow can make 1,000 something burgers? How much cows would you need to do that? Millions?
these cows coming from? Is there some secret super ranch hidden underground? Are they growing cows in labs, cloning meat behind closed doors? People laugh it off, but think, when was the last time you even saw a cow farm big enough to supply this madness?
This man is
True. I don't remember when was the last time. I mean, you guys been around. Have you seen so much cows or like around so much cow farming? I mean, if that case, there should be so many cow farms everywhere. Have you guys seen that? Even chicken, for example. Even chicken. Because when you think about KFC or all these chicken, or just food in general, how do they keep up with all these demands of all this meat that we are eating, all this food that we are eating? What do you guys think? How? Okay, so for over 30 years, I'm trying to see what the comments are saying. Maybe some people might know in the comment section. Maybe this way is better. Okay, this video is different. Okay, it's no secret. Ask Rabbi Frankenstein. Frankenstein, that's where the answer is. You won't eat there anymore again once you do your research at the same name. Okay, Rabbi Frankenstein. Who's that? Are they for real, or is that a troll? Okay. Well, they say it's a Jew. Rabbi Frankenstein was, or Louis Frankenstein was a Jew and the leader of Theological Seminar of World. Okay. Okay, what does that have to do with this topic? I think this is just a random comment. Sovereign Green is people. What type of meat they use? What type of meat? A lab-grown meat. 70%. Some people think that the meat is lab grown, but yeah, how would we know? At this point, we wouldn't be able to know if the meat is lab grown, because they will just bring it together. It's easy to make us eat lab grown meat. Very easy. All you have to do is just, because first thing first, if they're gonna make the lab grown meat, they're gonna make it tasty to taste just like the real meat. They're gonna do that for sure. And when they do all of this thing, they're gonna try to yeah, they're gonna put the fake meat or the lab grown meat with the real meat. So it may be like they start maybe 20% is the real meat, or 20% is the lab grown meat, and 80% is the real meat. And they'll try to adjust it over time, where 80% is the lab grown meat and 20% is the the real meat. It's easy for they to make us, eat lab grown meat. But from what would this meat made from? So they say it's just cells, so it's like growing something, or to just print it. But you need to get like if you're gonna print something, when you're gonna print on a paper, you need ink, and you need a piece of paper to actually print it. So what would they use? What sort of material do they use to actually make these lab grown meat itself? I mean, if it's gonna be a cell, it's not something that it's not magic. Like they just snap their fingers and then the meat just appear. Yeah, I wonder. I want to know. I want to check that, because a lot of the time they try to make it seem as if it's they're growing cells. So it's like they try to make it seem like it's a biological situation that just happened. They put the cells together, and then the cells just grow and multiply, and that's just it. But we can find out. Because there was this thing, because at this point you can almost make everything. At this point it will take almost everything to make you can make almost everything on the lab. As we talked about the last time, they are trying to make babies, real human beings in the lab. I mean, no wonder how far they will take this. But even with the burgers from McDonald's, that's not only the type of burgers. People eat big burgers from McDonald's. We eat big burgers from other restaurants as well. It's not only in McDonald's that we eat burgers from. Old McDonald Farms. Let me see. How are lab-grown meat made?
Hey guys.
Let me see. Is there... Old MacDonald had a farm. Okay. All grown diamonds. They can make diamonds. Let me see. Not diamond. Lab. The future of meat.
Elke vakantie is uniek.
Yeah, that's true. Elke vakantie is unique. But okay, let's see. Trying to find one from a respectable source. Okay, I think this one might do.
Meat substitutes date back to 206 BC, when tofu was the primary meat alternative. Over time, their popularity increased, and today, plant-based alternatives to meat are so popular that they have grown into a $5.6 billion industry.
But plant-based is very different than lab-grown. Plant-based meat is something that, they blend the beans together or different. It's like we all can make plant-based meat. That's not a problem. Plant-based meat, but the problem is meat. We can't, like the other type of meat, like steak. When they make the texture seems so meaty, meat looking. But plant-based meat, we all can make that. We can just basically get the ingredients and make it ourselves.
One way vegan meat is produced is through 3D printing. This
Okay, this is the other one, 3D printing.
process can produce steaks, fish, or any other sort of structured meat product. So how do they do it?
That's the question. How do they do it? Because, and what is the material that they use to print it? Because as they were showing, they're showing that they are printing it literally, like if you're gonna, just like if you print a letter, if you print something that you wrote on a piece of paper.
3D printed vegan meat is a relatively new and emerging technology that combines 3D printing techniques with plant-based ingredients to
Okay, plant-based ingredients, as I can see, they have here like tofu, they have chickpea. Chickpea is just, it's one type of plant-based meat that they one type of plants or beans or pea that they use to make a lot of different meat related products. But a lot of the time is they are made from plant-based, and they probably add some onions in there. But I wonder, why do they use chickpea? Although chickpea is it's, well, one thing for sure, it's high in fiber, which is good for us, and well, it's also high in protein. But the other thing about what I find about chickpea is that it takes a while to cook. It is very, very hard. It's like like eating stones. You have to leave it simmer for a while, and or if you're gonna cook it directly, you have to cook it in pressure pots. Or yeah, it's it takes a while. Why don't they use, you know, lentils, for example? Lentils are pretty quick and easier.
create meat-like structures. Similar to traditional vegan meat production, the first step involves selecting plant-based ingredients that can provide the desired texture, flavor, and nutritional profile. Protein and fat, along with the juiciness and aroma, are vital components that give traditional meat its identity. Each of these components is reproduced from scratch. Plant-based ingredients rich in protein are selected, such as legumes, grains, and various seeds. These ingredients
So okay, basically the way that's a different, this is lab grown meat but plant-based meat. Hola, I'm good. How are you doing? So this is a different situation that they would do it, but there are different meat that they will make that is not by plant-based origin. That's what the one that I know that one already, what they are talking about. That's the one that I'm interested in, because to make plant-based, the one that they basically is all about putting all the ingredients together, mixing it already, if you, or blend it, if you will, all the beans, peas, or just everything that you would want the meat to taste like, because they also add flavor to it. If you're gonna put like herbs and spices to it, and you blend it, everything, and then you just have, you know, if you put it in something that you'll be squeezing it, then that would be something that you can just squeeze. But you when they put it in a machine that can print it, and that would be very easy for them to do, because all they have to do is basically make it watery enough that they can, you know, make the printing part is basically making it seems look like the same structure of a burger or a chicken or whichever, like fish, make it look like the same structure. That's the only thing that's about the printing part, but it all comes from natural sources. But that's why it's expensive as well. When we think about a burger, plant-based burger, I've tried them before. When you think of it, it's like you get two burgers, the patties for 4 to 6 euros, and that's, you can buy you can get a regular burger for that, but it's expensive because the making process of it is expensive. That's why, because you can think about it that you have to get, there's a lot of things along the way. Guys, can you get the likes up, guys? There's a lot of things to do along the way. So can you guys like up? Can we get 1K like, guys? I mean, that's the one, but I wanted to know some different artificial meat, different ones. They are not all artificial meat are made the same. Let me check. It's not all of them are the same. Let me see who's in the chat. Can you guys like up? Okay, so not all artificial meat are made the same, because I was checking to find which one. Because even if they would do the artificial meat, like I guess it's a hassle, it's a headache. It's a headache to make the artificial meat, because as you can imagine, it's a long process to make it. As you guys can see, you have to find the ingredients or the type of plant-based stuff that are gonna be that are gonna give you the same nutritional value as the meat that you're trying to create. And that's one. And when you find it, then you have to bring it back. It's like collecting the ingredients. You have to collect the ingredients, then you have to do the mixing, you have to crush it, you have to add the seasoning to it, and then you have to make it into a jelly like that you can print. It's a hassle. Okay, but let's see. Okay, this one is a different one.
Treatment of animals to uneven food distribution and even climate change, lab-grown food is being hailed by some as a solution for many of today's biggest issues. Our global agricultural system is responsible for over a quarter of all greenhouse gas emissions. Among the worst offenders are...
Okay. Well, this is what one of the reasons I remember back in the days, I think 2012 or 2014, I think. There was a situation when they were saying that a lot of red meat are causing a lot of different illnesses. That could have been a way that they're trying to get people to get off red meat, or it could have been a way that they're trying to minimize the amount of red meat that we consume, one of the two. But also it could have been just people are eating too much red meat as well. That's causing heart issues. But this is showing that greenhouse gases emission per kilograms of food produce, which is beef, which is gonna be the cows. The cows is gonna produce a lot of emission. And did you guys know, when it comes to the cows, they do something which is I know here in the Netherlands they do this because the cows, they produce a lot of emission or waste. They give them a certain they give them a certain how do you call this thing? But it's just that they're giving something that when they will poop, they will fart less, and their level of emission will be, somewhat reduced. Nitrate, something that goes into the groundwater. How reduce nitrates? Cow. Yeah, what's the question? Hi, Christelle. What's the question? So basically, in the feed, what they feed the cows. I have. Okay, can you tell me what have he's done? You ask, King Von is in heaven. The question is, King Von is in heaven or in hell? Okay, so let's what do you think? Let's start from there. Sup Coffee, what do you think? Do you think that King Von is in heaven or hell? Let's start there. I think, okay, you think Tupac is in heaven and King Von dance with devil. Well, there you have it. Because if you heard the story of King Von, what he has done is, Tupac was just basically an artist, and King Von, and Tupac was for the people, and he was just he was making good content, good movies, good songs, good music, good art. But that other guy, That other guy, you know what he was doing. He was making music still, but was it good music, to be honest? I mean, it could have been said good in terms of he got bars, but was it like really uplifting? And the things that he's done, you know. So what you said is that King Von, yeah, King Von is dancing with the devil. Yeah. Um, what he's done is, yeah. So how to reduce nitrates? So nitrate is something that pollutes the groundwater in every country. Tobacco growing with black. Yeah, well, that's what I heard too. So to reduce nitrate from cows, test feeds dilute high nitrates forage. Feed dry. Let me see. Avoid. So basically, it's what they feed in the cows to actually reduce the amount of nitrates they get in the water and the ground itself. So, and nitrates, it's something that is found in the ground or in the environment itself. Everywhere you find nitrates. But the situation was, since so many cows or animal cows, for instance, are being produced or being farmed for simply to produce us meat, and you know, it's like at this time, that's why we have obesity as well. We are overly consumed because we have so much access to food, then we tend to overconsume food. Because back in the days, people were not so big, or obesity was not always a situation or issue that we used to deal with compared to now, because we have so much access to food now. And it's so easy. It's just about if you can afford it, or if you want willing to spend on it, you can just get food whenever or ever. So nitrates, a lot of animals are being produced or being farmed for that purpose, to feed us. And when it comes to companies just want to make money. They just want to, you know, it's they are there. Businesses are there for a purpose. Don't get that wrong. So since so many cows or so many animals are created for their meat, so it increases the amount of nitrates that are in the environment. So everything in the environment are good, but at a certain balance. Guys, can you guys like up? Guys, let's get to 1K likes. So it's good for the environment, but there's a certain level that creates an unbalance in the environment. This is what a lot of countries are actually dealing with, and they feed the cows or the animals a certain type of, you know, way in order to reduce the amount of nitrates that they, you know, put in the environment. Just like if you eat a lot of beans or a lot of eggs, sometimes that makes you are more gassy. There are some food that you would eat that will make your body more gassy. So they'll try to find food that are not making their bodies more gassy in that way. And so when I look at the amount of food, we're looking at this chart. Eggs, and the last one is rice. So you can see, oh no, this one, there's one here below me, it's 4.5, and below eggs is rice. So when you look at the greenhouse gas emission per kilogram of food produced, measured in kilograms of carbon dioxide equivalent. Okay, so in the graph here, it shows beef is the top one, dark chocolate is the second one, lamb, mouton, they say mouton. Yeah, it is mouton. Mouton is yeah, a family of lamb. They produce a lot of basically a lot of different carbon dioxide or gas related in the environment.
Beef, dark chocolate, coffee, and fish based on emissions per kilogram. There has been a lot of hype around cell cultivated food, but how viable is the industry? What does it entail? And more importantly, will consumers buy it?
Can you do the honours and lift the lid on your...
Would consumers bite? I mean, a lot of us wouldn't basically buy if we know we are gonna eat lab food. A lot of us wouldn't eat it or wouldn't choose it, but some of us would just want to choose it to see how it tastes. There will be people who would test it, but there will also be people who just want to find out, yeah, how it tastes and if they're gonna like it. Or there are gonna be people who are gonna be persuaded in a little time, hi Monique, a little time. It's all of us gonna have our, our moments that we would actually eat, or the situation that would cause us to eat lab grown meat. If the end of the world would be near, and there's no meat, the only meat that is remaining is lab grown meat, I think you guys will eat it. You'll choose that to eat the lab grown meat over your survival to be able to live. Most of us, if not all of us, would choose it because yeah.
creation?
Over a decade ago on The Edge, we reported on the world's first ever cultured beef burger, unveiled by...
Since 2013, it's been like, yeah, a good amount of time. Over 14 years.
Professor Mark Post from Maastricht University. It cost around 250,000 euros.
Okay, and Maastricht University, that's here in the Netherlands. They are working heavily on this lab-grown meat.
To produce. He went on to set up Mosa Meat, a company which aims to bring the burger to the masses, and he's not alone. There are now hundreds of startups developing their own lab-grown products, but just how do they do it?
Yeah, how do they do it? I think that's the question that we want to know. How cultured meat is made. So basically, how do they make this meat that we are eating, and these meat which are, lab grown?
It's a relatively simple procedure and similar for both meat and plant-based production. For meat, simply take stem cells from animals' tissue, add a nutrient-rich solution and watch the cells multiply into the three main components of meat: muscle, fat, and connective tissue.
Okay.
Then put the cells into bioreactors, or as they're more...
But okay, now I understand what they're saying is that they take, like you live, what do you mean? Oh, thank you, bro. I think you said you like my life because it's smart. But like they're saying, the way they do it is that they can take a cell, they take the cell from the cow, and they can take cells, everything that is alive have cells in it. So basically the information of what certain thing is, just like all of us have our own names or all of us have our own fingerprint, cells can be seen as our own fingerprint. Not, well, you can look at it like that, but you can look at it like your family have their own, we have our same connection with our families. So as the cow would be the cow cells, it would be just, from every cow. For example, it doesn't really matter when it comes to, the fingerprint part. But just to give you guys an understanding, that they take the cells from the cow itself, and then they put it in and they mix it with something else or another type of cell, and then let it multiply. That's the first step.
commonly known cultivators. These cells are then separated and rearranged to build a final edible product. This part of the process is called scaffolding and can be very complicated. A steak, for instance, needs a lot more scaffolding than ground meat in a burger.
Yeah.
The entire process takes between 2 and 8 weeks, but the payoff can be huge. It's estimated that just
2 and 8 weeks. Wow. I mean, that's not that bad, but okay, the entire process takes 2 and 8 weeks to 8 weeks. But the question is, how much meat does that process create? I think that's the most important thing. How much meat does that process actually create?
1,000 of a pound of cow cells can create up to 4.4 billion pounds of beef.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot of beef.
That sounds like an impressive return. So what's the holdup? Well, cost is a big issue. Currently, lab-grown meat is around 40% more expensive than animal meat.
Yep, and that's the thing. So it's removing one problem and to create another one. So lab-grown meat is 40% more expensive, and at this time it can even be more expensive. And this was, let me see, when did this documentary or this video was made, and how long ago? Or just last year, December, but it could have been made long time, even earlier, but December, a year ago that it was made, this video. But consider a year ago, that doesn't mean that the pricing goes down, because as we do know, prices hardly goes down. Mostly prices goes up. So this is another situation here.
And then there's health and safety concerns. All production must happen in a completely sterile environment because the cells have no natural immunity from diseases.
Well, they have no natural immunities for diseases. So they can catch, these cells can have bacteria, they can have different diseases that from the body, that they can just transfer from you. A regular animal protein or regular animal meat, and the animals have their own immune system. They have their own way of combating different illnesses. But when it comes to these meat, since it's lab grown, it has to be made in a closed area so much so that it doesn't give us health issues. So it's more expensive, and if it gets contaminated, we can get ill, we can get sick or develop illnesses. Yeah, and there are applications for this. There are times that this could be useful, but it has to be in situations that are closed. It has to be, maybe if it's in space, maybe if it's in areas. Yeah, I would only think it's only in space, because I was gonna say areas that are low, that doesn't have food, but we cannot, if an area doesn't have food or a place of the world doesn't have food, then that would mean that these areas are poor, and if they are poor, then it's gonna be hard for people to actually buy this meat. So I think I can stop it from here.